Welcome back to Fast Paced for Pride 2023. Right now we have Pigeon playing Suwako-chan Cubic in the Lunatic category. So, Pigeon, you want to take lead, girl?
Yes, this is the sequel to Suwako's jumping shooting game, and was made in 2013 by one man, I believe, and a test player, so it is pretty well done and pretty fun. And also, we won't be seeing this because I kinda needed to have something to play, and let people know that we won't hear Tetris music for this run. And so, yes, we will be playing on Lunatic. So, Lunatic is usually referred as the final difficulty in any shooting game of the whole franchise and the fun games. And actually, it's not the case here, but we are taking some safety because after this, it kind of gets very difficult. There's also been an incentive that has been met, so auto bombs only, which means that if I take a hit in the game, there's a shield that will be lost, and then if I take a hit too quickly, I will use all my bombs, so that's the auto bombs. There's a slight issue, I can have a bit of blunder if I unintentionally push the key because of another setting that exists. And yes, so to make things a bit more exciting, because I had a bit of leeway in the survival run, I will be also adding a little bit of scoring, which means that I will be extending the run for a little bit. And also I did promise the staff that I will not be doing a full monologue of about 40 minutes, so we also have a commentator with us, which is Volcana Hyperlink. Hello, welcome to the team. So,
Hello.
we will be ready very soon to begin the run and explain the mechanics, and also enjoy the game and also enjoy the conversation with everyone. So I will be ready to start the run in 3, 2, 1, go. So welcome. This is the shooting game, and this is the jumping game. So for this first stage, I will not be shooting a lot of enemies. I will be mostly gathering the grace, which means I will get very close to those bullets and make the G counter grow to the left side. So this is mostly to make the score for these blue items going a bit higher. I'm taking a bit of safety to make sure that I don't shoot one of these fairies, because we do gain a fair lot of scores at the beginning of this, especially with the grace. Now we have our first kind of encounter of where I will be just stalling for a little bit just to gain some more grace as well. We have a timer in this spell card, which is a remake from a spell card from the 10th game, the Walls of Moses, I believe. And we will be hanging out inside the walls to just gain as much as we can for this. So my bombs are actually dealing damage to the boss, so I will trying to be careful not to go too close. Another thing about grazing is that we also gain shield back. So the counter to the bottom left is the counter that lets me take a hit, and it is a thing that loads up to the frame. So the number is like, again, every 400 shield to the frame, and the counter goes at 1 million maximum. So now we'll be doing a bit of standard survival before going back to some grazing again. Do you have an experience prior to seeing a STG style game?
What was that, sir?
do you have experience with watching shoot 'em up in general?
Honestly, no. I think now it's probably gonna sound weird, but the only shoot 'em up I've seen was that program for MacBooks, which would delete your programs, and you had to get like a high score to save your MacBook before it deleted the equivalent of System 32.
Ah, I see. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff. Alright, so now we're facing against Kyoko, which is okay, I almost got through too much quickly to the health, so we'll be grazing a little bit. So Kyoko is a yokai, which is a very malicious spirit that likes to prank people, not necessarily in a good way, like fairies. And she has an ability about echoing, so we do have a lot of bouncing pins around. But I will be just doing a bit more grazing for this, and we should be good to go. So, now we are seeing a spell curve that I won't be grazing because it does not add too much, so we'll just go a bit further onto this. Just move slightly forward, not too far to get gotten by the green wave, and we should be okay. I may be able to get back the shield before the final spell too, which is already a bit of mesmerizement to see. But yes. So far it's really stage, it's a bit comfy. Not too much of an issue. I already lost my bones, but I still have my life, and that is a good thing. We also are able to move the camera, by the way, which I discovered not too long ago, by pressing the S, and S is above X, which is the most dangerous part. I did that once during practice, so I hope I'm not doing this again during the show. But yeah, so now we just have a bunch of mess of lines, which are very well organized because, there's some kind of rotation, there's a shape going on. And that is okay. So now we are able to go to the next stage, 6.7k, that is a very good number for grazing, so... We will appreciate very soon that this man is a pretty jokester. He does like pranks, sometimes. There is a couple here and there. We won't see all of them, because a few of them are dependent on the difficulty too, but that's fine. So now we have a big wave to go through, actually, going inside those diamond green, and we are good to go. Also, we need to make sure to be careful about where those orange projectiles are landing, which is not too think less complicated. I messed up. Alright. We will be losing a little bit. Alright, and the third wave is the last, so we'll be gaining a bit more items there. Couldn't get those last two, but that's okay. Alright, so now another downtime for doing a bit of grazing there. So I'm going a bit further just to make sure that I catch those two red waves, and the boss will never move. This none is pretty interesting because in the main game, this is closing in, and this is meant to represent an umbrella that is closing in. So the spiral that you are seeing is just the umbrella that opens first and moving, and then it just closes in. So it's a nice little detail to know about this. Most of the music that we will hear at first won't be coming necessarily from the mainline games, but like more for the side albums that Zune has been making over the years. So there's a couple of those at first. And when we graze, we get the most we can to gain a bit more score. And I could time this down, but I think I will just shoot it just to make sure. There are a couple long-lasting final stand on the spells that are lasting like a minute 32 minutes. So I just want to make sure for safety that we will get there. Alright, now back enemies. We'll just be hopping the hops between those lanes fairly well. If we were not right, this would be twice as tense, so a little bit quicker. And the first joke, don't stand in the middle. You can graze those lanes, but it's a bit dangerous. So I won't be doing this. Even though my practice yesterday actually had like 4 extends remaining. Alright, so far it's going good. There's also, for people that don't know very well, are a bit scared of shoot 'em ups. There's also very easy modes that exist, and also a tutorial that was in the option that exists. So it is very open to everyone. It's very friendly. The maker did have a lot of thoughts put into this. So we'll be doing a bit of grace right there as well. A bit of downtime. How do you feel about this game so far? I think will be something we'll be playing if you would maybe not have issues with mouse, or maybe something you would try at first.
I don't think I could ever get into bullet hells. Much like chat, I can barely process what I'm seeing. Other people also saying, they're having trouble following it, so the fact you're able to do what you're doing right now is honestly amazing. I don't know how you have the focus to dodge so many things.
you know, we have to do it, but that's also about the conversation and also the spectacle about the event too. So, you know, you have to be prepared for everything. Also, I'm sure pretty much of a big tangent all alone in the full stage, but it's kind of difficult to find the downtime for everyone to be able to raise their voice as well. Anyway, so this is the boss in stage 5 of the 12th entry of the game, Sho Tora Amaru, which Tora in Japanese means tiger. So there's a lot of sense in the naming of the characters usually. And the mid-boss we had seen before was Kogasa Tatara, which is, for the first name, literally a small umbrella, which she also wears. And it's also her true form. And unless I'm wrong, she may be the only character that has two different colors of eyes. Anyway. Good, we're doing pretty well. 10k, that's about good as last time. Also a joke, don't stand in front of us. Right, that's the second joke. There's a few more jokes in there, don't worry. This maker has been the publisher ever since making games in 2009, especially when their almost first game was I Wanna Be the Guy type-spam game, Bolia no Tabi, I Wanna Be the God, which actually he has a four-parter games, four-part series of this, and I've speedrun 2 of those. Alright, so we're also in the library now, so we need to do something a bit special, because I absolutely need to destroy the mid-boss of this if I want to get close to the high score. So, yeah. So this is the book, because of course we're in the library, and you're also there to just turn the pages, you see. Also backwards, because, you know, we are in Japan, so of course we read from right to left. So the page of course has to go from right to left as well. Alright. Doing a little bit of grazing there. Using a not alone, that's okay. Just save the last wave, don't be careful of this. Alright. Alright, to be fair, I'm not too sure I'll survive this, but you know, it's pretty fun. There are those moments sometimes, and they tend to happen to me a fair bit. Alright, I just need to make sure that this book gets destroyed. I will take a death, just in case, just to make sure. Alright. And now we have 2 final fairies, a bit of downtime before the boss. I can do a bit of grazing. Yeah, that's okay. Alright, so now that is the third book, of course, we have Pride Time. So, most of our spells are inspired from EOSD, so the 6th entry of the game. And yes, we have angered our librarian, local librarian, so of course she has to turn into Rainbow. That's not an issue, not worry about this. She's going to be very well, but it's also very important because what I've done will change the spells on this boss and the spells on the mid-boss in the next stage as well. Yeah, everything is falling down, don't worry about this. Because the mess will be coming pretty soon. Right. So I'm just going there, just to make sure. Just going inside the pinwheels. Not too much of a bother if I'm careful enough. It should be good for the spell. Yeah. Alright, and now we get the big mess, the quintuple fifth elements. Alright, so yeah, it's a bit of a mess, you know. There's like small donuts going on. There's like lanes and very lanes that are just going at me, not at me. You know, that's the usual business around town. No worries about this. Alright. Yeah. I'm sure you're a bit confused, broken, but don't worry about it. This will be over pretty soon.
Okay.
Almost got it. Here we go. I missed some items. That's okay. Alright, so now property. You shoot at about halfway, but you don't have to worry about... you can just pretty much destroy anything, so it does need a bit of precise positioning. And those two sections will be very slow, so this one and the following next. But there will be a bit of very fast moving projectiles a bit everywhere very soon, so just be careful. So right now, just in case, you know, it's not too much, but we never know. So just make sure that we destroy each one before going in, because we don't want to get very red bullet to hit me. And now we're good. Now this is where the being halfway up, because you can see that my rings go a bit higher than the platform, so it does destroy everything and I don't get to dodge anything after all. No need to jumpy, just need to shooty. Alright. Still one more of those. They're a bit further away, so they're a bit difficult to hit. And now, a fairly difficult mid-boss. If I don't take out the health bar, I will lose items. So it's very important that at the end I make sure that I defeat this. Also sine waves, because we didn't see sine waves. We have seen triangular, but not the pure sine thing. Alright. So there's a fair bit to collect there. But just need to remember that the timer is not that long. Went left. Go there. Thank you. Alright. Now a bit of a pattern. We jump once and twice, and that's it. Up. Alright. Just to walk in the park, which is what was the story about. You know, we're just going for a walk, casually in Gensokyo, and here we go. We're just walking casually, meeting all our friends out there, and just playing around with 1,000 projectiles around. You know, it's a casual day in Gensokyo. Alright. Should be about good now, just to make sure that I don't screw over. And now, a bit of donuts. We can go inside, we can go outside. There's a fair bit to gain as well. I should have gone inside, but that's okay. I do have lost only one life so far, so that's fine. I just need to make sure that I don't go as well. And of course, since I gained more shield at the start, we do gain a little bit more. Right. Also, of course, there are a few more fancy donuts if we go in the harder difficulties, so yeah. But yeah, I would be doing this instead sometimes, but I can't just see exactly the hitbox. Okay. Just doing a bit more damage, and sadly we still lose a bit of grace, because when you get hit, whenever, like hit or losing a life, or something else, you just lose time and can't graze anything. So there's a fair bit of loss. And now we jump. In sync, hopefully. Alright, we have a bit of archway, so it's a fairly difficult section and we most likely lose my bomb, but yeah, that's fine. Alright, a bit of downtime. Everything good? Not too... is still okay so far? I can understand that, given the silence, that it might be a bit confusing with everything that just happened in the last 30 seconds.
I may not understand what's going on, but it's still very beautiful at the same time. I'm getting serotonin from all the pretty colours on my screen.
I see, oops. Alright, I guess I'll take off and extend for this. Right, now we have the lanes. They'll go left and right, so we just need to make sure we can get the item, that's all. There will be most likely losses. This, if there was no auto bombs, I would be bonding there, most likely. Maybe in the previous stages, that's recover items, and if I don't gain like pretty much a lot of grace. Compared to a normal run, I would be losing like 300 point items in this. But we still are able to gain like 10,000 overalls, which if you go in the Japanese side, they count by the 10,000 instead of 1,000 when changing units. So this would be where like you would get your first comma in between everything. Alright, so now we have a ferry that goes around like the other ferries, you know. We just make sure that we dodge everything, and now we have to find the hole. Okay. and 2 jumps. That's yeah, it was a bit complicated to find her, but that's okay. It's a small loss, maybe 100k, but that's fine. I gained a bit more, so there might be more gains in the end. Alright, now we have a mattress, the PS mattress, sadly. The fairies are pranksters, so they have actually pierced her through our mattresses, so we can't sleep very well. Could be a reason for the work, actually, you know. You never know the true reasons of inside the games. It's also not a very easy one to do, because of how tight this is. Now we have a second nun, so now there's 2 stages for this bullet to be in, so we just need to make sure we avoid those. Alright. Now this is a big grazing spell, so making sure I can fit inside the hole. I don't need to cap it. There's plenty more to gain from this. Also, when you take a hit, you have a bit of iframes before to make sure that you're able to recover. So in the end, you can get so much grace that you can actually chain everything. So my shield is already reloaded because of how quickly I gain the grace there. Also pretty long, so 30 seconds remaining. I can't watch chat, but maybe in the chat they have a few questions or a few more maybe. Or maybe you have questions as well.
I don't have any questions, but I do have a donation to read, if you don't mind.
Of course, there's 15 seconds.
Yep, well, speaking of 15, we got $15 from Alistair saying, "Good luck to all the runners. Thanks for putting together something special for such an important cause, and I can't wait to see these games." And that goes towards the Canada Kangaroo Round 2 at Pirates Bay, as well as Otacon in the poll for Metal Gear Solid.
Very good. More shooting games, but a different kind. We have a bit less bullets. You know, we don't have 50,000, but we're just 5. Alright, just finishing this, and then we can go on to the other sine wave. A different kind of sine wave that we have seen before with the fairy mid-boss. Okay, this is a triangular sine wave, but, you know, we have all sorts of sine wave in there. I'll just take the hits, no problems. Alright. So now we just need to spiral through. We can go inside the grazing area as well. This will also help in the shield. Alright. So of course if I'm too high, I won't be able to shoot down the fairies from below. Just making sure that I get the height up. Okay, we can get the point, that's pretty good. Yeah, don't worry, we are just going Rainbow Road all the way in this stage, so not too much of an issue. This one is a bit more resilient, so it's a bit difficult when they come from the right side. Alright. Okay, can go there. Okay, it's yeah, I should have done that. That's okay. Get to beat boss now. We still have 2 more extents to gain, so no worries about this. We have a lot more to go through. Alright, we just regain the grace. So at this point we are 2.5 times at a faster rate for the regeneration of our shields. That's pretty fine. Now jumble mess. Just need to make sure we avoid where the things are going down, and also the random directions that I have to memorize, you know. I did say random and memorize, but you know, kind of an antithetic thing, and I almost got it. Alright, now we have a sine wave. So I will begin from the left, just to make sure I can get the hits in. Alright. Very good so far. We will most likely be losing a fair bit of items. I think this will be also another red place to go. Right. Right. Need to start left again. Oh no, right. We have a risers again. They come back, but with a revenge, they shoot a bit more. Fortunately, it's not too bad, so that's okay. Okay. Just make sure that I get in the lane. Don't worry about this, it's almost impossible. I guess I should have just used the mountain gain. I should have enough time, yeah, we do gain the shield back, so it's no worries. Right. We are in for the boss. JK, we do have another small section. We'll also take an intentional hit. Speaking. Sorry, 5 AM sleep. Don't worry, this is what a 5 AM sleep schedule does. Just like yesterday. Well, yesterday it was more 4, but we did have time to recover at work. Don't worry about this. Alright, so now we have a bunch of lanes that lead up to anything that just go in the sky and just fall down very slowly. And now we get the sideways... I don't know the name in English, but you know, it's you hop inside the balls. It's like the ring that just you spin around your body. It's
I wish I can help, but despite English being my first language, I'm not very good at it either.
Right. Went too early. We have a fast. We have to go through. Alright, we got in. But JK, we had a frame, so... Now this one we did get in, so... Now we don't have the joke anymore. Nice. Alright, so yes, we do have 3 waves of targeting, just to make sure that we avoid.
Chatter saying hula hoop, is that what you were thinking of?
Yes, hula hoop, yes. So yes, we had to go through the hula hoops for a bit. And now this, it's a pattern. It's we have to memorize where they go. It's a big mess, and sometimes at the end they just close it in, so you have to dodge everything. Okay, nice. Now this is a mess because the stars, you don't really know where they go, and sometimes they can just go inside where you are, so you are just screwed over and take the hit anyway. Okay. Is good so far. That's sad. Don't worry, the jinx are very known in the community. There was a few jinx earlier in the Toho World Cup by the main commentator that is also fun check me, so don't worry about this. But I mean, it's going very, very well in any case because well, we don't have too much issues to worry now. Maybe just losing a life again, that's fine. We'll be losing one later anyway. Alright. Do you feel like you would be getting walled very often if you were playing those kind of games? You know, like a lot of bullets coming in? Well, here's your answer. We do have the final joke. The small wall. So usually there's like in the survivor, there's like, well, okay, I don't wanna get hit, I don't wanna use bomb, I don't wanna have a third category, and well, this is the reply pretty much to this. You know, well, looks on you. You cannot do this. As I said, this person has always been the jokester in many ways. Losing a bit of item, that's fine. I don't mind too much. Okay. So now this stage is pretty short. This is the final stage, you know. We have a couple more bosses to go through. We have 2 bosses, exactly, so make sure to be careful when the timer ends. Alright. So now, first spell, pretty okay. Now, second spell, pretty impossible in the main game. So, those characters don't appear in the mainline game per se. They do appear in the side game, which is a double spoiler, which is a photo shooting game, and you just take photos of all the shapes. And this is in the level 10, or I think it's it's level 10 there, not day 10. And yeah, that's a very difficult spell, and you have to take 5 shots. And every time you take a shot, the lanes spawn faster. I should be able, yes. Alright. I might be able to not lose a life? No, there's a final spell still. Which is a very big scoring spell in double spoiler Bankatcho. we just be hanging off there quickly. Alright, and now the impossible spell that you have to jump through many times. Alright, we did one wave. Almost got to capture this and get the bonus point. Alright, now we'll just be doing the capping for a lot of grays, just for bonus. Incredible, we're actually not losing a life. Well, now we get an extra autobomb for us. And now for the final boss. The other person from the level 10, so now we have a bit of canvas to go through. And also lots of 1-2s. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, now I'll be doing a bit of grazing as well. But 28 minutes, we're very comfy for the estimate so far, so I can do a little bit more. There's a second version that's a bit more difficult later on. And yeah, it's not exactly canvas because they do have a sine wave inside, so yeah. It's kind of a big shape to do. Alright, just to make sure that I get everything. I forgot if I can actually do some items, so now we have more spells from Double Spoiler because it's like the only game we will see those. Alright, you just need to make sure that the ones that spawn very close by don't do a whole lot. That was a bit of a extreme wave. Nice. A rare cap of this. Alright, so now gimmick. This spirals to the right, so of course you have to go to the right, and then we go back, gain the grays, and go back to the right. And we roll around. Right. And this is pretty big because now there's 8 lanes, the lanes double in Ultra, and Ultra was the last showcase I did for this game in the survival aspect. The only thing to make sure is that you don't get trapped by the green from outside. Alright, final. Alright, big numbers. Now, this spell is very dangerous because these actually bounce backwards. So, you need to make sure that first you don't get in the shadow of those keystones, but also make sure that you don't get too close from behind and get hit by those. Oh. You know, I must say I'm very comfy. 6 lives, I was expecting to lose a bit more. Okay, now we have a more difficult canvas. So actually this one requires you to be able to jump diagonally. Just like this. Sorry. I like to hum sometimes. It's a very nice song. And a nice mix as well. Alright. Very easy spell to do. Just moves very slowly. That was a bit too close, but it's okay. Alright, now we have the big final spell that I will never cap, so this is also a very big grace point, so I'll most likely be doing the grazing on this as well. Alright, now we get the quicker one, so we can use the sideways camera if we want to, it's a bit of a quirk. So when we do this, the boss will not go to the next stage if we go halfway through. But at 30 seconds, the boss will start the final stage. So this is what I want. I want to start the final stage, just so that first I know that it's 30 seconds remaining, and also because this is where I need to stop and maybe sacrifice a life, just to make sure that I can get everything from the point items. Also very comfy, we are 32 minutes in, no worries. So, I don't know. Maybe you have any more questions from the chat, or maybe from yourself again? It's a conversation that I always forget. I've been speaking for maybe like 3 stages in a row with almost no stop.
Don't worry about it. So what would you probably say is your favourite song from the entire series?
Well, this song was like the first one I caught from a fan game, and I did not know the origin, and I spent a year looking for where it was.
Oh, really?
So I made sure that I made myself like a loop. For me, it's like a 15-minute loop that I always listen to.
You gotta do what you gotta do if no one else provides it.
Yeah. And also we have to play the games too. Right. We just aggressively plays all of this. Yeah, so the last two phases will be like this. So, alright, and now it is time. Now JK, there's another boss. So this is what happens as well if you destroy the book in stage 3. So if you destroy the book in stage 3, you get access to the final bosses. Don't know how this works, you know. I guess the librarian was very angry to just pop out the book, and she just sent us the warlords to just get rid of us. Alright, so now this is an interesting boss because if you play in Ultra Plus, the boss changes the pattern. This is the space from the extra stage of Fujin Roku, Mountain of Faith. But in Ultra, she will use the spell in Double Spoiler, which is the rings that just go in a mess and just bounce around as well. So the number of rings also indicates how many bounces they have left, so they start with 3 bounces, go back to 2, and then 1. And if you play on 4 dimensions, there's an even more final boss that exists. But 4 dimensions is not very safe for mana fun, you know. Ultra, I did not practice, so I did not submit Ultra, and I did not wanted to redo like last year, where I decided just before the run started, alright, I played Ultra, I cleared it, and I did not miss the clear like 3 times in a row, so I think I might be ready to just play on Ultra. And in the end, the layout was just Lunatic, so, you know, the casual day in the me world. Okay. Alright, and now we have a complete lane, now we have to just go inside everything. Those are very difficult to go through, and of course if you play on Ultra, it's like, you almost have no space for those, just a bit of grazing there, just to make sure that I don't get hit, but I guess I was too late to dodge, that's fine. You know, we do have some more time around. It's like the 2 final spell, also I guess I had still some messing around. Also don't mind me, I have just been messing with the spell and I just screwed up everything, so it's enabled all possible cap, but I did cap it, you know, that was the one to the top right, so it indicates that I am indeed capable of doing the cap of this spell, you know, and get the bonus points of this. Alright. And now for Grand Finale, we're actually very good on beating the high score too. There's like 1,000 items. No, sorry, there's 500 point items, so hey, we get to the leaderboard. I guess I could go for the graze in the end because it's very difficult. You know, you have to dodge inside the cane bars, and yeah, it's rough to do. It's another 1 minute 30 as well for dodging, so you know. You know, since we are closing in on, I guess, the Japanese block, you know, with the dodging aspect from myself. Kudos to Drew Horse for also submitting a Japanese game. We had a small block and it was a very fun one. The run from Suzuki back also was very interesting to watch when I saw this at a prior event. And hoping for good luck for any of us to be in our team in Japan next month. Because we both submitted a game, which of course was for me completely different because I've submitted 5,000 games. Don't worry about this. It's not like I have 2 different games to just derail for next week. Or the fun game marathon. Okay, we have 40 seconds. Any last words, maybe?
Just this has been just amazing to watch. Just I don't know how else to describe it. Just how well you're able to just slowly, you know, move just the tiniest few pixels, just so you dodge thousands of bullets coming towards you.
Alright, we'll finish off right now. We collect all the items and 17 million, very nice. 17.5, nah, study time. Alright, And now we are finishing our work. Thank you for accepting the game. Very fun times. And also underestimate. Perfect. Very perfect round.
GG,
Just 20
well done.
seconds under. That's it. But yes, thank you for accepting me. I recognize that it might have been difficult to accept me because I had no commentators and I would have done everything by myself. But also I'm very talkative and I did try my best to give some shine to our host, Broken Hyperlink. Of course, thank you for being there and for being my commentator of the day.
Thank you for running.
And yeah, very good time. Oh yeah, there's a last joke about the AG version. We also have the 16:9 resolution. Otherwise, on the basis, it's 4:3. And a bit more better graphics. That's pretty much it. But it's also a sad thing because, well, we do have the score saved. Actually, hold on. We need to do some renaming. Hold on. Up. Do we have enough space? That is a good question. Yes, we do have some space. Nice. Now the game crashes, but don't worry. It will just affect the replay. Don't worry, you are still there, all of you. Just a second. Ranking goof.
Chat, it's us. We're on the board. We
We're
did
still
it.
on the leaderboard.
So where can people find your pigeon?
Well, I do mostly talk for fun games because I like to look for the hidden gems for running, which is not why I made like 20 leaderboards over the years. And I do things on YouTube, but it's not much. I mostly do things on Twitch because, you know, we do enjoy the conversation as always. That's pretty much it.
No problem. We are going to go to an intermission now, folks, as we set up for our next game, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a bit.